Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good evening, wherever you are on this amazing planet that we happen to exist upon.
Oh, it's windy here today. I love that sound.
The sound of the wind,
I do, through the leaves.
for the leaves falling. It's very cool.
Yes. Today's theme, you ready? The choice is always yours. And here's a quote from the two of us. I happen to like this quote. In every moment, you're making a difference.
And the difference you make is up to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, you can prove that you're incapable of doing things, or
That
you
you're a
can
mess.
that's right. Or you can prove that you're a genius.
And you don't actually have to prove either. All you have to do is look at how you're operating, how you're being. Being here. Let's talk about listening.
Yes, listening. Listening is a skill set.
That again?
Yes.
Always again.
Always. Listening is a skill set that you can get better at. What you have to do is stop listening to the voice in your head and listen to the person who's talking to you. And when I say listen, I mean allow what they're saying to come into you rather than filter it through your agreement, disagreement, like, dislike, judgments about the way things ought to be.
Isn't there a song that goes something like, same old story? It's like the song, the thoughts in your head is like the same old story. You want something new?
If you want something new, get here, because this moment is new.
And it is endlessly fascinating.
Absolutely.
It's rich, it's three-dimensional, and you
Technicolor.
Are far more brilliant than you know.
Exactly.
Because what you know is an encapsulated, shrunk down version of what you've recorded.
And what you think the universe is.
We may have talked about this on other episodes, and if you're a listener, you may or may not have heard about this. But when my mother passed away, she passed away at 11:11 p.m. And somewhere in there, we'd heard that 11:11 is a
propitious.
Yeah, it's almost like a sacred number. It means, I don't know, something good. So whenever I happen to notice 11:11 on my watch or 11:11 on the clock, I stop for that minute and I just allow myself to be grateful. Sometimes I close my eyes and I'm grateful to my parents, to my grandparents, to whomever has supported me over the years. I happened to notice 11:11 today. And I was standing in the kitchen and I'd been washing the dishes, and I just stopped and I saw a leaf floating down. I saw the reflection of remaining leaves on the trees, on the hillside. I heard the wind. I took a breath. I felt myself. I was really, really being here. You can just allow yourself, should you wish, to be here today. It's an incredibly enlivening, empowering position, whereas most of us are geared to rushing off to what we're trying to produce or talking to ourselves about what we didn't produce. So let's listen. We're about to call in our first guest. Let's listen today. It's quite exquisite when you give yourself license to be here.
That's right. So our first guest, Stephanie.
Welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, I'm zooming in from Manhattan, New York.
It's nice to have you with us.
Nice
to be with you.
What can we do for you?
Thank you. What can we do for you today?
I just am so drawn to the title of the podcast, which basically says it's all up to you. And I find that so, I find it great, but I also find it kind of daunting.
Well, it might be that you could find it empowering because it empowers you to have ownership of your own life rather than being run by the thoughts that have plagued you forever. And I say thoughts that have plagued you forever, I mean those repetitive thoughts that are mostly negative and mostly about you in the negative. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I know those thoughts.
You know those thoughts, right? And they show up there when you are not fully engaged in your life. But when you're fully engaged in whatever you're up to, those thoughts fall away into the background.
The statement we made, in every moment you're making a difference, and the difference you make is up to you. You can hold that as great or daunting, or you could look at it in a transformational framework, which is that it is a fact, as in what is, not that it's a good thing or a daunting bad thing, but it's the case that we were in Costa Rica one year, Shya and I, we were sitting at El Tucano, which is where we're going coming up soon for our instantaneous transformation immersion courses in January. And they have a river there. And the river is what you might consider a normal river, except for there's geothermal activity there. And where there are little cracks in the bed of the river, hot water trickles out and heats it. So part of the river is cool, part of the river is warm, and part of it is very, very hot. So it's kind of fun because you're swimming around in your own hot tub when you want to be. We were sitting there one day behind a bridge abutment, resting against some rocks, and it was the perfect temperature. And we're sitting there and we're chatting, and Shya had just lazily moved his hand off to the left.
Out into the river.
It changed the
direction of the water flow.
Of the current. And suddenly it got really hot. And we're like, whoa. And he moved lazily his hand off in the other direction. And immediately it was very, very pleasant. And that was making a difference. You move your hand, the universe follows. It's not a moralistic statement, it's an isness statement. What are you thinking? You're now thinking.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it that way.
Yes, you've been trained to be hard on yourself, to look and to find your faults and try to fix them. I'm assuming that's because you grew up on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We record these podcasts for those of you who are unaware. We used to do them live when we were part of the radio station, but we do them, we pre-record them. And Stephanie had difficulty accessing the Zoom link, signing in, different aspects today. And for you, Stephanie, it wasn't simply a fact that, I can't get in.
No.
There was a conversation you were having with yourself about your ineptitude.
That was the word I would have used too. It was proof of something.
And that conversation got between you and your effectiveness because you listened to the conversation rather than look at what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all I could hear, that, God, you're stupid. You're stupid.
Well, I'm sorry. I do not hold you as a stupid person, and I have known you for more than 30 years.
Would you have been an executive at a bank for all those years if you were stupid?
Well, I mean, I'm not always stupid. I'm just temporarily stupid.
Well, that could be a choice.
That is the choice you make.
The choice is always yours.
See, you can choose to be stupid when it's inconvenient for you not to be. I'll say it differently. You can choose to be stupid when something is requested of you and you want them to stop asking you. Haven't you ever done that? Let me think about this.
I know it sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar, yes. That's because it is.
I have known you for some time, and I have a feeling when you're starting to have inklings of something you want to do or don't want to do, you befuddle yourself so you don't have to fully look at moving forward in one direction or another.
You know, if you wanted to cross a stream and there were rocks that crossed the stream, you'd have to jump off of one rock to the next one. And that's where you see you're kind of smiling now that our listeners our listeners can't see your big smile.
Grin now.
Right. But you're seeing yourself in that. Yes?
Yes.
Hey.
So
here's the other thing. See, with transformation, how you've been in the past matters not. What matters is how you're being in the current moment. So you can either be right that you were wrong for being the way you were once, or you can be here, fully engaged as a co-conspirator in your own life.
Yeah.
You know, when I worked on daytime television, I was for a couple of years on All My Children. And somebody once told us that one of the things they did, at least back then on daytime television, is you do a scene, I do a scene with you, and would be done talking. And I'd be like, okay, that's it, Stephanie, I'm leaving. And then you wait until the camera drops away and they go to another scene. And it's unnatural. Nobody ever just stands there and looks at each other and thinks about whether or not you want someone to leave you. So somebody once told me what people do is they start thinking, did I leave the iron on? You get this kind of like befuddled look while the camera closes out. You do this befuddled look sometimes. And I got this picture of you standing on a rock, crossing a river. You're not sure you want to make the next step. So you're standing on your rock thinking, did I leave the iron on? And it's something that you cannot answer, but you, in that moment, because you wouldn't know, but all you're doing is confusing yourself, befuddling yourself, making yourself slow.
And the choice is always yours. Now, look, I'm going to make a confession here. I used to be a lot like that at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started facilitating seminars, I didn't have the luxury of getting lost in my thoughts anymore. And I've been facilitating seminars for 50 years. So, I mean, I got out of the habit of getting lost in my thoughts. And I pretty much look all the time at what's wanted and needed in the current moment. And I provide that. That's a possibility for you. That's a possibility for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, let's say it that way. It happens a lot more to me than it used to.
What's the it?
That I'm not stuck.
Mm.
That I in the present, that I feel what I need to do. It's very easy. I can see it. I can do it. I feel capable. I feel connected.
I got it. You see, when you have a plan, when you've got a lesson plan, when you've got a role that you know to play, you're great. It's when you have to, out of nowhere, be Stephanie without knowing what your role is, but look and see what you see needs to be done. That's where you get befuddled because you worry that you might could do it wrong or say it wrong. So you don't do anything. You think about it. And we say, Stephanie, what are you thinking about? And you go, I don't know. What do you think about that, Miss
Yes.
Stephanie?
Yes and no. I mean, I feel that that is actually changing. That is that I'm actually expressing myself rather than processing in my head.
Good.
Yes, that's true.
But
That's why you are befuddled less of the time, but in the times that it happens, it's still the same.
That's true.
and you know, transformation isn't about getting better, because that's incremental. Change is incremental, a little bit at a time, linear. Let me think about this. Transformation is you go from one moment seeing what's needed to be done to the next moment being fully there, doing it fully, rather than becoming a better at your life. You're actually fully blown you in your life.
See,
no improvement needed.
If you have the befuddled processing on tap, because it was one of your
Survival
mechanisms. Like some people are just really short with other people. That's a survival mechanism. Some people get very quiet. That's a survival mechanism. Other people get confused. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a survival mechanism. If that mechanism reemerges, it's not a failure on your part. It means that something's up. You're upset.
That's right.
And I often look at what might be familiar type of triggers for me. And I see it with other people. Like as soon as somebody gets dull or less, or they look like they're in process, we might say, hey, have you spoken to so-and-so today? Or what's happening with your boyfriend? Or there are normal triggers that you don't want to look at because they're inconvenient, because you might have to communicate with somebody, or you might have to not go to that party that you think you should go to because it's expected of you, but you don't really want to, or whatever the thing is. You have internal standards, and then you have your truth. And your truth is sometimes really inconvenient.
Well, that was a non-committal answer. See, it's very interesting, Stephanie. You're a no pretending to be a yes.
And I'm just going to wade right in. It's kind of like this, Stephanie. Let's say you're having trouble with your boyfriend. Then it's not just like, hey, I'm having trouble with my boyfriend. It's like, oh no, not this again. This is like with so-and-so and so-and-so. And what it means, it's not just, hey, I have something to communicate. You have an entire conversation about what it means. And then you spend all this time trying to hold it away, and you get duller and duller and duller. Does that make any sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
You
Good.
think it's accurate, by the way, to this moment?
Excellent.
Good.
Well, thanks for being with us
That's
today.
right. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn. Let's hear what one of you listeners has to say about being here in the transformation community.
I'm Nina in Thun, Switzerland, and I love what Ariel and Shya Kane say about listening. And what I particularly love about it is that when I listen to someone, it's a gift to myself. It brings me into the moment, and that's where my life and all happiness is. Thank you.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Our next Living Made Easy 2-hour virtual seminar is today. So if you're listening to this in real time, it's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 19:30 Central European Time. Then we have Saturday the 13th, Monday the 15th.
Check our website,
Yes.
Transformation Made Easy, and you can get all the upcoming dates.
Yes. Also, we have a couple of virtual seminars upcoming. The first is New Beginnings. You know, you're kind of tired of having those old ways of relating to life. Let's have a new beginning. It's January 10th and 11th. And then we're doing
The freedom to be.
The freedom to be. Very good. March 28th and 29th. And then our next in-person course is the freedom to breathe. And in Germany.
Person, and it's going to be in Hamburg, Germany.
And the superpower of being you, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have to look it up. So
that's May 14th.
It's not until May. We shall, yes, you can find all of that at transformationmadeeasy.com.
There you have
all
it.
Right. Whew. Let's take our next guest.
Yes, please. Grev.
Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi everyone, this is Gaurav and I am zooming in from Winnipeg.
Winnipeg in Canada, in case you're not familiar.
Yes.
Nice having you with us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
What can we do for you, sir?
So, first of all, I want to say that the topic for the day is in every moment you are making a difference and the difference you make is up to you. That's a really good topic. When this topic came to me, I was just coming inside my house from meeting my friends, and this topic is so much related to me at that point that I have to say yes for this. So when I was meeting my friends, and one of my friend just blamed me for something like in a funny way, but I took that really seriously. And then that impression I was catching with me till home, and I was surely passing that my emotions to my wife or to my family. But when my boss gave me this thing and I read this, and that suddenly changes, and I said, no, like this is up to me. And then I take the responsibility and then I change the whole thing. So
can I stop you for a second, because you're saying so much and it's all good. You see, here's the thing. When you see something, now you have a choice. If you don't realize that what this friend said was upsetting, you're just upset and you don't have any choice in the matter. But as soon as you realize you're upset, you can disengage from that upset.
First principle, there are only 3. Anything you resist,
you're stuck with.
And it grows stronger. It dominates your life. It dominates your experience of yourself. And life shows up exactly as it does.
That's the second principle.
Or no two things can occupy Gaurav at the same time. So you're walking in the door, mulling over what your friend said, whether it was a joke or not. You've resisted it. And it changes your demeanor between you and your wife and your family. Third principle, anything you see or become aware of without judging, it pops in an instant. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's up to me. And then I know you're using the word change, and I'm fine with that. I'm saying it transformed. It's like it pops.
In an instant, not a little at a time, all of a sudden, you go from one state, which is upset, into being in your life in current time. That's amazing. That's a really amazing possibility. The third principle says anything you see without judging completes itself in the instant you see it, which is hard to imagine because we've all been raised in a world that's based in change, where transformation isn't a phenomena, it's a synonym for change. And we're holding it as a phenomena where in an instant, you can move from one state to the next, like a molecule of water can turn into ice in an instant when the temperature reaches 0 degrees centigrade or 32 Fahrenheit. It's an instantaneous state shift, one which takes you out of your thoughts about how you're doing your life wrong into being in the experience of being alive. Very different, you know. And here's the other thing, Gaurav. It's not a normal name for me. I'm sorry. You're an amazing dude. And I can tell that out of my choice of words. Because as I'm speaking to you, I'm saying things that are the same idea, but a different set of words create the framework for what I'm saying. And I like them. I like what's coming out of my mouth. The other thing is this: you're an incredibly handsome man. And I don't know that you know that. I think you think you're just ordinary. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I always think that I'm just like a normal man, but it's always happy when anyone say that, like you are different or you're handsome. Yeah.
Well, you see, and that's not as a judgment, it's really as an observation.
You know, we haven't known you for a super long time, but part of the handsomeness is you're here. So you're like in your eyes, in your face. So aside from how your features are arranged, which is in general genetics, there's something really
Present.
Flame in your presence, and it's so lovely to be with.
Yes.
I have to say something that I found inspiring in what you said. Whatever happened with your friends, you came home from being with your friends, and if I got it right, one of your friends said something in kind of a funny way, but it was a type of criticism, or you took it that way. I like that you could come home and see the impact of how you were being on your wife. That you even in the midst of your upset or your processing what this individual said, you weren't so lost in being right that you passed it on to your wife. You were able, at least enough, to extract yourself enough to see that you were making an impact that you didn't want to make.
That's true, actually. Like most of the time, like when I see is that um, the things which I had done, then I realize, oh, I don't have to do this way. Like that moment has already been gone. Then I realize, oh, okay, I had done this a bad way. But this happens again and again, again and again, and but at that moment, I just forgot like what I have to be or what my responsibility is or what is my like authority at that point.
What is my authority? What a great term. Like, you are authorized to go in and be her husband, or you're authorized to go in and have a temper tantrum. Your choice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
Yeah. That's awesome. I like it. Because you know what? We all get upset over something somebody says, what either in jest or for real. And then what you do with it is up to you. You know, getting upset is an automatic thing.
Staying upset is a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. Really fun being with you today,
Yes,
Gaurav.
thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Yeah. And
We appreciate you.
yeah.
Okay,
And the
thank you.
other Stephanie behind the scenes, who is being our producer today. Welcome to the team. It's fun having you. And yeah, you know, if you want to come with us to Costa Rica, not in particular you, Gaurav, but of course you're invited. Anybody who attends a weekend with us prior to our courses in January, you're eligible. We have one more between now and when we go, that New Beginnings. And then if you want to be part of our newsletter, you can sign up, you can share this with your friends, or you can just turn off this episode and have it be enough. Whatever works for you, we are behind. And I just want to let you know what next week's episode is about.
It's called Practice Makes Perfect.
I don't think I'm going to go practice my complaints.
That's right.
We'll be back next week.
So come on back and don't miss being here.